Now we'll discuss about the structure of HTML document. In the previous session, we have already discussed uh, what is the briefly we have discussed about what are the tags and what is HTML document, what is the syntax for the tags. Everything we have already discussed. In detail, we'll go with the structure of HTML document by taking some examples. Now, as I already explained in the previous session, first we have to start with the HTML document. We need to start with the root of the HTML tag. That is what we call it's a doc type. Doc type is a root of the HTML tag. That is DOCTYPE. That is what we call it as the root of the HTML document. If you want to create any HTML document, we have to start with this root of the HTML. Then, when we have so many HTML markup languages, if I'm creating HTML, so doc type space HTML, if it is an XHTML, doc type space XHTML, or it can be an XML also. And so, if we are starting with any markup language document, we have to start with the root, because this complete document will be represented, will be stored in the form of a tree to access the elements. So, that and all will be studied in the next sessions and all. So, here what we have to start with the root. So, only what the first line of the document, always it will be a document type. Then we have many tags will be there depending upon the user requirement. We keep adding, we keep using these tags. So for example, I have taken two tags, that is these are all some standard tags. Almost we'll be keep using these tags. So only for example, I have taken these tags. That is, one is title tag and one is p tag. These are the basic tags we have. So I have taken two tags. That is, a title is one tag to give some title to the document. Below this content, you can see the output. If you run this code, you will get this the below sheet. What you are getting, what you are seeing, that you will that output you will get. So here what we have included only two tags. You can see what the title you will keep here in that text you can see in the top of the content. So the title name is what, a very small document. So once if you have created the tag, in the sense you have to close the tag. So the how you will close the tag with the backslash. The tag name should be within the angular bracket. Then the tag name is title. Then give the name for the title. The name is a very small document I have given. It's your wish based on that web content. You have to give the title. Then close the title. Then it is what, paragraph tag also I am taking to print some paragraph, to get some paragraph, or to print some sentence or a word. You can go with the paragraph tag. So the tag name is what, it's a p tag. Then give the these paragraph tag, what the sentence or what the paragraph you are writing within this p tag, everything will be printed on the web content, web page. And so we have created the paragraph tag. Then at the end you have to close the paragraph tag. See, here in this document I have not completely followed the structure. This is how you have to start with this, and few tags, two tags I have included. This is simple, like you have to how you have to, where you have to type these content. In the sense, not necessary to create any software, download any software and all. You can open the notepad, you can type the code over there and save it with the extension file name dot html. So whatever the name you can give, okay, you can give this as a sample dot html. Save it wherever you want, in any folder you want in the local disk. Then go, you have to using the browser, which browser you are using. Just you can using the browser, you can run this code. So through with the help of that browser, it will create the web page. It's very simple to execute. The execution, the steps how to follow, with the example I will show in the next session. This is what the simple document. Then in detail we'll see how the structure will be. So in the next slide we have, that is, sorry, we have the complete structure. Then here this is what we call the structure of the HTML. Just you understand what is the structure, what structure you need to follow to create any simple HTML document. So, as I told, you have to start the document with the doc type, that is the root for the HTML, any HTML or XHTML document. Here I am creating HTML document, so start with the doc type HTML. Here you have two parts, that is, you have to include any HTML document contains two parts, that is HTML head part and the body part. What you have to include, that is also tag. The head and the body is also one of the tag for the HTML. In the head tag, what you need to include, in the body tag, what and all you have to include, that we have to understand. In the head part, suppose means what at the back end, in the sense, in the, suppose you want to give some link for this document, means if you have created HTML, this is one HTML document, you have created one CSS document separately file, you have created one JavaScript file. So I want to link all these three files, so you can, this linking part, and you want to display the heading for this complete content, that also can be included within this head also. So inside the head I am including the title tag also. The title tag, head tag contains what, head part contains what, it can be title, and it can be a link, or it can be anything that supports at the backend for the HTML document. These things what you are including within this head, you cannot see on the page. Okay, that is for the backend support. So you have to, why this CSS, in the sense, you have already created you have created the document, HTML document. For this document I need to apply some properties, that it can be a text properties, or it can be a color properties, anything you can, any properties you can apply to this document. But so these linking and all you have to use, in the, you have to give it inside the head document. Then that is the head content, head part contains. Then in the body of the HTML, what, for example, I have created one web login page. So in the login page, what and all you can see, it can be some username, password, and these are the minimum. You have to enter some username in the text box, you have to enter the password. Then finally you will click on the submit button. So then it will go to the next page. So here uh, only these three parts you can see on the web page. So these things what it has to be visible, what it has to be visible on the web page, those things you need to include inside the body of the HTML. For that, what backend support you need, that will be inside the head part. So in this simple document, I have included only heading. Just it's like a paragraph I have created here. In this, in the next sessions and all, I will be discussing about what this H1, what are the different tags and all will be available in this HTML, in these markup languages. So H1 to H6 headings we have. So here H1, in the sense, for all the H1 to H6 we have some standard size. By default it will be already fixed some standard size for every headings. If it is H1 is different standard size, H2 different standard size. Okay, it will take this standard size, it will apply to this content. That is what the content main heading goes here. So for some content I'm giving the heading. So that heading will be what size it will take, that is h1 size it will take. So h1 I've created, then the content, then close the h1, then close the include whatever the tags based on the requirement, you include everything, then close the body of the html. So in the beginning, what head part, I have opened the head tag, then include whatever you want, this meta tag, a character set, that and all, you don't worry. So in the next session and all, we'll be discussing about all these things. This is for encoding the document, the which format, in which format you are encoding, that is for the security purpose. So that format, you have to will encoding format they have included. This is not compulsory, you need to include. If you want, you can, otherwise you can leave. But these are all what it should be within the head tag. Once it is head part completed, close immediately head. Once the head part completed, start with the body. In the content page, what and all you need to be displayed, what we can, the user can see, what the user can be visible. So those content you have to give. Close the body of the html, then head part and body part it is closed. Then finally you close the html, the complete html part is completed. So at the end you close the html. This is what explains the, this explains the structure of the html. This is what the structure you need to follow. So if you understand what actually the head part contains, what actually the body part contains, so in the further, for the further concepts and all, it will be helpful to understand this concept.